Hello.
Hey there, aloha.
Aloha.
Much love, mahalo, mahalo, ohana.
Yeah.
Mahalo, family. Great to see you again, Ellie. Great to see you, Eleanor.
You too, always, Jerome. Wow, I'm tripping out on the old picture of you and looking at you now.
Oh my gosh, I'll be tripping out on old pictures of me. I'll be like, who is that?
Different lifetime. Yeah.
Absolutely. In the same lifetime, a past life. Yeah, people talk about having past lives. That feels like a past life for sure.
Yeah, I feel like lately I'm just keep constantly dying and being reborn. I don't know about you.
Talk about it. My goodness, just the rebirth, the death and rebirth, like that cycle, you'd say you've gone through it many times.
Recently, it feels like it's, yeah. I don't know if everyone else is on the same page. It's like, it's a little exhausting.
You're like, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but we've been rebirthing.
Yeah.
The energy is working. Oh man. So yeah, tell us about it. What's this recent rebirth, how it's been so extraordinary because I read in your post, that you said this was like it was like you took a picture, it was like 9 days after the 6 day dry feast, and you were just feasting on air for 6 whole days, and you said you had never felt more clean, clear, elevated, just escalated and evacuated. Just I mean, yeah. Talk about how this was, it blew everything out the water. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. So I had been really, I think, needing a fast, and I really cleared some space in my schedule
Hmm.
for this one. Um, and yeah, it was one of those like ups and downs, and I didn't like I don't know, I didn't feel like I healed like any physical specific thing on this
Hmm.
fast, but definitely like around day 5, I got super high. That was so incredible. And yeah, I feel like as more and more the layers come back, and a lot of the medicine that I got on this fast was about just finding that wholeness within. And I found that I naturally dropped like a lot of habits that I had accumulated that maybe weren't so helpful for me,
Hmm.
and trying to fulfill some kind of boredom, or habits that I was looking to for stimulation, or just like constantly wanting to absorb more information.
Right.
Things like that. But this fast like really helped calm me down and help me feel more connected to myself, and just to feel really deep gratitude for simple things. And it's kind of like going on a trip. Like you go somewhere and you have this like alternate consciousness, and you really can't like bring that consciousness with you, but you can like integrate the memory of it,
Hmm.
and like let it change you forever. So like, yeah, not only do I feel renewed and more energetic and like, less congested and everything from the fast, but I also feel like I've had some insights that I can integrate into my life, and just, yeah, feel more connected. That's what this is all about. I think this fast for me, I just wanted to feel more connected and integrated with myself, and closer to nature and to the subtle energies of life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel it. I feel it. It's so interesting, just your choice of language, Eleanor. Like when you're talking about, first of all, you said you got super high, you know? And someone is thinking to themselves, well, man, I remember when I was super high. When I was on psychedelics, I was super high, or when I was working with cannabis, I was super high. And then you also called it the medicine. You said the medicine of a fast. And I'd love to hear just the difference between, if someone's working with plant medicine, but they've never known the medicine of nothing at all, you know? Like, how can the medicine be with nothing at all? So
Yeah.
I'd love to hear, just those two sides of the fence where, on the one hand, you were super high with nothing at all. but then on the other side, it was a medicine with nothing at all.
Well, it's not like it's really nothing at
Mhm.
all. Because I mean, you're still in this body having this experience. So it's kind of like when you're blind and then you can hear really well.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, it's like it taking away. So I took away the food, I took away the water, and then it was like all these other senses can get more heightened, especially like over time as the body is like less focused on eliminating, or the organs kind of like realize after a few days that it's like, oh, okay, we're going to sleep, and like things start to shift,
Mhm.
and like other senses and frequencies can become more online. So I think like that's the medicine, is like tapping into your other senses that are there. And I think like similarly, or or in their own way, psychedelics can do this, but it is different. And I think like with fasting too, and with psychedelics, it's like it's so much about your intention and your energy and your relationship to it that you bring into it,
Mhm.
whether it's serving you or not. Because people could be starving themselves and not gaining spiritual insights from it, just depending on like what the condition of their nervous system is, what their intentions are, like what their energy is going into it, and their relationship to it. So I think same thing with psychedelics, that the medicine is a lot of how you feel about it and what your perspective is.
Right.
But yeah, I think, yeah, the medicine is like in eliminating other stimulations so that you can tune more finely into other stimulations that are always there, but that you might not notice because they're um, just less loud.
That's true. That's true. It's like the dial has been like turned down on like the sense, other things that you might have been able to perceive or able to retrieve or able to receive. Like the antenna, the signal has been, turned down a little bit, and then when you let go, it like turns it back
Yeah.
up. It's like let's get the receptivity back online. Let's get that antenna. Let's get that sharpened signal back online. It's like you're adjusting you ever had the TV with the dog ears? You ever adjust the TV, like the antenna on the TV, like it's like staticky, right? It's like it's just like you're adjusting it, and then finally, there it is. There it is. You're like, we got it. The clear signal, the broadcast is coming in. We can receive it. We're channeling now. We're channeling, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah,
Yeah. And that's always there for us. I think that it's just a matter of getting out of our own way and letting the body do its thing. And believing in it is so powerful. So believing that your body has the ability to heal, and seeing it like and visualizing it doing that during the fast. Yeah, I feel like during a fast I get a lot of alignment upgrades and can definitely feel energy moving through me in a clear channel. And then after, on the refeed of the fast, honestly, especially the part just getting
mhm,
hydrated, it's also massively healing and like releasing. My skin's gone through a lot during that phase.
for sure. For sure. Just purified and just, more even crystallized, just a crystalline being, just purified. So, like, I can definitely resonate when it comes to the heightened sensitivity. And you have more proclivity for different things, different actions, different habits, new patterns. You're like shedding the old layers, like peeling it back kind of like an onion.
Mhm.
And then come the tears, when you're peeling back the layers of the onion. It's same thing with the fast. So I remember in the post you made, you said it was a lot of tears.
Yeah.
So were you releasing, I mean, were there a lot of emotions? Were there a lot of fears with like the ocean of tears? What do you feel like left you? Yeah.
Yeah, well, all kinds of things. Also tears of just incredible gratitude. Just like,
Mm,
wow, the depths of the connection to nature, and just the ability to feel and sense
mm,
things on a different level. Just like all the little things are just so incredibly sensual when you're like, I don't know, so kind of deprived, I want to say, like just so thirsty and like so empty. And then like all like just touching water, or just like the smell of a flower, all those things are so profound. It's like at that point it can like bring me to tears.
oh my
And
My gosh, you're talking about it, Ellie. So there were times, definitely, I'm just relating to you. You're bringing me down memory lane. Like you would be just walking through nature or walking through, a forest or just walking around. Like you see a sage bush and you just lean in and smell, or you see a flower, you just lean in. Like I was smelling things I'd never really taken the time to smell before, and it was like I could smell for the first. See, for me, I was so blocked up for so many years. Yeah, it was like congratulations, right? It was like congratulations, congrats, achievement unlocked. So I was so, my sinuses were so congested. I was so invested and I was so just blocked up for so many years. I didn't think that my nose could smell. I just had given it up. I had given up that sense.
wow.
Really, I had given up like my olfactory senses. I had just kind of let them go. I was like, okay, I guess I'm just one of those people that just can't smell like that. Like somebody would flatulate, they'd pass gas in the room and I would never know. I would never know. And then, somebody would make a meal and I would have to get real close, to really smell it. So I was always the one that just smelled things the last. And oh my gosh, when my nose opened up, I felt like a dog. I felt like an animal.
Yeah,
I started smelling everything. And then that became an experience. It was like eating through my nose. I could smell
right.
things down the street. I was like downing the window, like, like, oh my God, what is that? Like, where is that coming from? Like, dang. So there were times where I was just walking down the aisles in the grocery store, just smelling, and then I would walk out, and that would be my experience. That would be my meal.
Right.
Just
I totally relate to that. People are like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I'm eating in front of you." I'm like, I'm so enjoying the smell and I'm enjoying the experience of you eating next to me and just like being part of it, witnessing it is also like there's so much energy there to be had.
absolutely, absolutely. So, what's one other sense that opened up for you during those 6 days that you were able to perceive something in a new way? And it doesn't even have to be a regular sense. It could even be an extra sensor, like extra sensory perception, even.
Well, there was like the sense of touch was
Okay.
really like I was feeling different qualities of things that I hadn't felt before. Like I really have a strong memory of feeling the water and just like the texture of the water. I
Mhm.
could sense this whole other way that's hard to explain. Like I can also feel the almost like the personality of things in the touch texture of them.
The personality.
Like
Okay.
the
So you.
like
Mhm.
like like the water is like an alive being, and on like the touch of it, I was experiencing like this intimacy and this knowing of like this particular water.
Oh, so you're like just being intimate with, of the being of the water, like the spirit of the water, just the essence of the ocean.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Uh, and like it was so interesting the way that what I wanted was different. Um, like I couldn't stand to be inside. Like as soon as the sun was out, it was just like I just had to be outside in the sun. And
Hmm.
like I don't know, like YouTube became really boring.
Right, right. It gets old. It gets old
Yeah.
after a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Your body craves it. It's like we crave to be out in nature. I remember when I was on my longest dry fast as well, I was like, I could not be inside either. It was freezing outside. And this
Yeah.
was this was in Sherman Oaks, California. And during that time, it was like for some reason it was just so cold, but I had to go outside. I had to. It was
Yeah.
like my body just yearned. It yearned for it. It craved
Yeah.
to be just out of an enclosure and needed to be in the open air, in the open sky. And it didn't matter, what the weather was like. It was just like it needs the fresh air. It needs, the openness, the vastness. So, oh my goodness, when you're talking about, just how during a dry feast, during an air feast, when someone's going without food and water for a prolonged period of time, for a lot of people, it's a challenge physically. They're looking at themselves in the mirror, they're watching themselves change. You know, they're seeing the reflection. For some people, emotionally, it's very challenging. For some people, mentally, it's very challenging, especially when you're feeling things that are, you know, protesting in your body. You know, like maybe there are certain sensations, or, you know, you have a relation to the, you know, you're feeling certain things that are kind of objecting. They're like, nah, I don't like
Yeah.
this. You know, did you feel anything like that? And what allowed you to push through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely I got to a point in my fast where, and just being like very thin is super triggering for me, I guess. I don't know, like I just see myself and I'm like, oh, I put so much work into gaining weight, and you know, after the fast it comes back so fast, but I always forget that. And so on the fast I'm like, whoa, I look really disturbing, and I just start to question, like, am I just insane? Like, am I just like, have I convinced myself of this bizarre thing by watching all these YouTube videos and reading these stories from these people who do this, and I've decided that this is somehow a good thing for me? Am I just crazy? Like, is this just like, am I killing myself? I start to get thoughts like that. Like, this is just insane. I'm just not. I'm ignoring my instincts. My instincts are clearly like drink water, and I'm just like, no, no, I'm not going to. But I have like a very like, it means a lot to me to be the kind of person who follows through with things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to like project myself into the future of like, how am I going to feel later,
Mm-hmm.
imagining myself being the person that did the thing I said I was going to do, or being the person who didn't. And just like feeling into like, who do I want to be, you know? And that's, it's really powerful for me to like, I had something, have like a very strong yearning to want to be someone that follows through and like proves myself to
Yeah.
myself in a way. So I wouldn't.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. And I made all of these. Oh,
there
thank
she
you.
is. Ah.
Do you want to play on the playground with your friends for a little bit? I'm doing a little interview. I can give you a sandwich. What's it? An interview. What's it? Where I'm talking to somebody. Here, take the sandwich and go share it with Ella and play on the playground, and I'll be there in like I don't 15 minutes. Sandwich. Okay, we'll go play. I'll be there soon. Okay. Okay.
Okay, we won't keep you too long.
We'll play inside. I'll be right there. Okay. She made me some
Oh,
origamis.
oh, nice. Nice. Beautiful. Precious, precious.
Yeah, it
You
was
know,
so interesting with the kids on the fast because they're watching me. Like, their dad supported me a lot on this fast, uh,
okay.
with them. So I kind of just was staying with them, and he was doing a lot of the childcare, and I just got to um, do whatever I was capable of doing,
Yeah.
which is really nice. And then they got to watch me do the fast. So it was really interesting, their perspective on it. And like, my little one will be like, I'm gonna fast for 4 days. Like, but she doesn't. But it's like just cute to like that it's normalized for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Was your so you said you were there and it was your partner that was there?
Well, he's not my partner. He's my the. Well, I guess he's my partner in parenting.
Got it. So your parenting partner was there and he was luckily he was supporting you.
Yeah.
He was supporting you. And did it affect him at all to see you go so many days without anything?
Uh, he was really great with it. Honestly, it's kind of cool because he's such a very different person,
Hmm.
and it's actually an interesting juxtaposition because he's like um, does not have the same opinion or like interest in detox or healthcare as me. He's got like very different interests. He's a techie guy, and but he supported me to do all these radical things, like yeah, free birth my kids and do these fasts. And he was never like worried or judgmental, and he was like impressed actually. And so he did really good with it. It was an interesting juxtaposition because the day after I finished my fast, he was rushed into emergency surgery to get his gallbladder removed.
What?
Yeah. So it just shows like the wow, the difference in the life paths that you can choose.
What
And like,
happened? Why? Why? This was spontaneous, like all of a sudden he was rushed.
yeah, well, he had some really extreme pain, I guess. But he had ended up having a gallstone that was the size of an egg.
Ah,
Yeah.
Jesus. But he was fine when you started?
Yeah, apparently it all the timing worked out. Yeah, he was able to support me on this fast, and then now he's recovering from surgery. So wow, it's like such a trip to like get to show my kids too, like the different choices you can make, and that you can still love and respect everyone, and like and also like choose your own path. Like, look, this is if you do this, this is what happens, and like you have all these choices in front of you.
Yeah, I mean it's like yeah, choose your own path. There used to be books I would read back in the day at the library, and some of my favorite were the choose your own adventure books. You
Yeah,
know, choose your own adventure is like, okay, if you want to go this way, then continue on page 89. If you want to go that way, continue on page 74, right? Like you would choose your own adventure, and then at the end of the book, you would be like, oh, that was awesome. You know,
yeah.
like that didn't, happen like I thought it would, but that was nice. I got to choose. I got to pick where I wanted to go, and something different happen. Like there was a different consequence for different choices. So getting his gallbladder removed right after your fast, I mean, geez.
Yeah, it's like such a karmic trip for me too, because that was that was actually the same thing that happened to my stepdad growing up, and like I made these really different choices than them. But I think too, like that we like that choice comes in even like before we're born. Like in this life, we choose our path. Like we chose what energies we want to take on in our families and our relationships, and then we don't really even get to choose what we're magnetized to. Like if I'm attracted to holistic health and detoxification, and it's like it doesn't mean that somebody else that could benefit from it is like it doesn't mean it's their path or
Right,
their like it wasn't what they chose. There's like a reason that I'm attracted to it, and
right.
it's not for the benefits I get from it. It's like the I don't know, the excitement, the magnetism I have towards it.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, thank you for that, sharing that difference because just to have that understanding, for yourself that, hey, this is your journey. This is the door you're walking through the door. You can't drag somebody else through the door that you're walking through. They have their own door that they're walking through. They have their own path, their own journey. And as you're blazing your trail, you get to know yourself a lot more. Speaking of the organs, I mean, I remember, Eleanor, you were telling us that at one point you had seen like a vision. I think it was your pancreas.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and you said it squeezed or something, it excreted some sort of green fluid or some fluid, and you were like, "What is that?" And then when you came to, you looked it up and you were like, "Sure enough, that was your pancreas."
Yeah, that was trippy. I was so honestly honored to have that. I would love to like build these skills, and that's a big part of the fasting journey too. I feel like as my intention is to like build my psychic awareness. So it was really cool to have this vision, and then to know like, oh, I've actually seen my pancreas, and then to feel like as it was having this release, I'm like feeling it come out through my sinuses and everything.
Right. Right. So to have that sort of perception and that sensitivity and just that vision of you on the internal, like to see what's actually going on within you, within your structure, within the vessel, when you're talking about the liver, the gallbladder, the stomach, the spleen, the pancreas, the kidneys, like earlier you spoke about how at a certain point in your dry feast, certain organs are just like, okay, we're going to sleep.
Yeah,
Like there's no, I guess I'm not needed here.
yeah.
I guess you don't need me now. So it's kind of like they just go to sleep. And then what do you feel after that point when you feel like your organs have gone to sleep? Like they just bedtime for your organs. What is that existence like for someone who's never gone a day without?
Um, well, I mean, there's still like a lot of sensation happening in the organs like this whole time.
Mhm.
But let's see.
Uh-oh, no worries. If you gotta go, it's all good.
No, it's okay. I thought it was 2 minutes. I'm just starting to get rained on.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. You never know with the Hawaii weather.
Hey, and also, like, what does it teach you about the body itself? To to know that there might even be other functions for the organs that we're unaware of.
Yeah, yeah. Like every organ has its own intelligence and has its own like its own emotional body too.
Hmm.
So when you start to feel into the particular organs and you feel like on my last fast I did before this, I definitely had a really strong connection to my liver. And this time I felt like it was more just like my intestines were
Hmm.
like really clearing something. And then after I finished this fast, I had like these kind of strange rust colored eliminations. So I thought, oh, maybe I've like really purged some heavy metals like some iron on this fast. So
So
it's interesting.
it was really concentrated.
Yeah. And you can feel when you're on the fast, like what's happening because the pulsing starts to just like the heart is sending blood there and you can feel it going there. So you really know what your body is doing, what it's working on. So like if there's an injury in your ankle or something, you'll be like, oh, you feel it. You can
Hmm.
feel it healing.
Yeah. Yeah. On so many levels, I remember like it was like my body was opening up, different pores were opening up. It was like the pores were becoming portals, you know, to like drink in the atmosphere. It was like drinking things in that, before there was no need. There was never a need to
Right.
like act. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're opening up that ability to absorb like from your pores, from your skin, but also from like the prana, like you're talking about, like the energy that you notice around different
Yeah.
people. Like you can get energy from situations, um, from different people's electromagnetic bodies, from trees,
Mhm.
from nature, and I think that's like a big part of why I'm craving so hard to be in nature during a fast is because you're really receiving so much energy that way and you're connecting like the trees are giving you life like literally and
Yeah.
you get to be more tapped into that sense when you really need it.
For sure, for sure. And did you change at all in relation to temperature? Like, did
Oh yeah.
temperature affect you differently as well?
Oh, oh yeah, it was really hard to keep myself warm. So if I would get cold I would be like really cold, um and yeah, temperature was like a more difficult to regulate. It wasn't as consistent, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems like the connection might be going out a little bit, but oh man, this is awesome. If you have to go right now, it's understandable.
Oh, is the connection fading? Yeah, I have a couple more minutes.
Okay, okay. Well, just what advice would you have, Eleanor, just for anybody listening and they want to embark and they've never done one day, but they want to just take it one day at a time. What advice would you give somebody who wants to do something similar?
Oh, I would say just take it slow. There's no hurry. There's no hurry in like having to jump off and do so much at once. And that honestly, like the prep and then the recovery is like almost more important than the fast itself. And but yeah, and that you can like really gain strength to do anything. It's like any skill. Like the more that you build up the muscle, the more that your body will remember and it'll get better at it. And like if it feels really overwhelming to do something like this, it's like, well, if you've built up to it, then it doesn't feel so overwhelming anymore. And
Right.
also day two is the hardest. No matter what fast you're on, like don't give up on day two. Day two is definitely the hardest.
So once you make it through day two, you're off. You're off to the races?
Yeah, it's better because it goes in waves. It's not a linear progress. It's not like, oh, it just gets harder and harder and harder over time. There's definitely waves to it. And also don't quit a fast when it's hard,
Hmm.
because actually that can make it more challenging, because like it's hard because your body is going through a healing crisis because stuff is coming up. Like it's not necessarily hard because you need to eat. It's hard because you're doing a detox. And so then if you break a fast during when it's hard, then it's like you just have more to do. You're still in the healing crisis and now you also have to digest. So it's better to like wait until you feel better and then break the fast. And like also don't like worry about breaking a fast sooner than you think that you wanted to, because it's like always a lesson, and sometimes you just need to do more extensive prep, like depending on what your diet is like I should have maybe even prepped more for this fast, and it would have been more comfortable for me. So
Okay.
yeah, especially with a dry fast. Like a dry fast is so different than a wet fast. But definitely with a dry fast, I think that it's so important to clear yourself out first. And so people that are interested in it, I always recommend like either start with a juice fast or just start with like a 36-hour fast. And starting with a 36-hour fast is super powerful because I'll use those all the time. Just like I can do them kind of whenever. If I'm getting sick or I need to heal something, and it'll teach your body how powerful it is. Because like once you go into those longer fasts, you start to question like, is this really a good thing? And if you like just try it out, do a 36-hour fast, then it teaches your body, whoa, actually I got so many benefits from that. And then it trains your belief in it.
Nice. So it's like you're showing your own body how powerful it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. It's like you're able to see your resilience. You're able to tap into your brilliance. You
Uh,
know? You're seeing
yeah.
like, oh wow, I am powerful. Like I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You give yourself a tool. It's so,
Hmm.
I love seeing people. I just love seeing people who discover fasting for the first time, and they go through and they're like, wow, that was so hard. And then something happened. Like a friend the other day was like, wow, my lymph nodes that have been swollen for years. I just did a 3-day water fast for the first time and it's totally better. And just having that belief in yourself and that knowing that you have this tool and you're able to heal yourself, it just makes you go about life so differently. Yeah, it's really empowering to realize you have that.
It's so empowering. And I love that, it paradoxically the only thing that we have to do is do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
like, like that's all we have to do is just do nothing, you
Yeah,
know?
that's the medicine. It's like the hardest thing. I think people do so many like radical healing modalities and they won't fast. It's like the hardest thing. I've even like seen somebody say like, "Oh, I'm going to like imitate the benefits of a fast without actually having to stop eating."
Oh man, oh man. It's like I don't want to stop, I'll keep going, but you know, I wanna do all of this, but not stop, Yeah, I wanna just keep going.
Yes,
Oh man.
it's the hardest thing for people to give up. But it is just like there's so much power in just yeah, not not doing anything.
Tremendous. It's easy for us to hold on, even when it comes to things like anger or jealousy or like envy or grudges or hatred. Like it's easy to hold on, and for a lot of people, it's hard to let go. Yeah. So
Yeah. And the eating too, especially people that are consciously or unconsciously eating to suppress emotions. Like I definitely know people that consciously do that. And then they're like, oh, I can't fast because then I'm going to have to feel my emotions. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. That was the way for me, for a long time that I never even considered stopping. Like I never even considered dropping certain habits and patterns because it had been so conditioned, it was so conditioned to just be, watching TV while I'm eating or just, scrolling social media while I'm eating or just, even driving while eating. I've seen people, it reminds me like just you see people driving while eating, we're walking while eating, we're talking while eating, you know? It's just, and then when you have nothing, you realize how much time you have on your hands. And there's a lot of time in a day when you're not eating,
Yeah.
you know? The day can be long. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And how sacred it is, whatever you do, take into your body.
Exactly. During that time, it's like manifestation is at an all-time high. The magnetism is at an all-time high during those periods. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The clarity. So then you, like, if you're, that's one of my favorite reasons for fasting, like confused about what it is I want or just feel overwhelmed with different energies. Like, you just get such incredible clarity on a fast.
Yeah. So this is awesome, Ellie. Thank you so much just
Thank
for
you.
teaching and reaching people, letting people know what's possible, and all they have to do is the easiest thing and the hardest thing, which is just do nothing, just stop, just do nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, just knowing it's possible is a huge shift.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on.
Thank you, Jerome.
Take care. Take care. See
Bye.
you.